Now, New York's #1 news. Channel 7 Eyewitness News this morning.
Stuck in the snowstorm. New reaction just in after students slept in their New Jersey school overnight. Drivers trapped on roads. Backlash this morning over why it took hours for people to get home.
Passengers stranded overnight at area airports. Some even stuck in planes on the tarmac for hours.
And a wintry mix still affecting the tri-state right now. New York City schools are open, but schools that are closed or have a delayed opening will be scrolling at the bottom of the screen.
And we have several live reports this morning. We get to those in just a moment, but we begin with meteorologist Bill Evans live on the AccuWeather Center. Bill?
All right, here we go. North and west of the city, we still have this problem of freezing rain and sleet and snow all mixed together. Ice, snow, and rain all mixed together. And that's throughout northwest New Jersey, right around Morris County, Sussex County, Warren County. So we've got a coastal flood warning right now till 9 o'clock because this northeast wind is piling water in here to western Long Island Sound. Southern Westchester, right here to the Bronx, North Shore of Long Island, coastal Connecticut. Winter weather advisory for this mix going on of rain and also ice and snow here in the Hudson River Valley and down into northern New Jersey. Coastal flood advisory for eastern Long Island with this high tide coming up right now, and that wind that has been up as high down the Jersey Shore is 45 miles an hour. So you're seeing here the temperatures in the 30s to 40s down the shore. Stay away from trees and power lines because, I mean, as much as you can. Here's our low center now. It's working its way away from the Jersey Shore. The winds are 35, 29 here at the shore, and the wind gusts have been in the upper 30s, 36, 38 miles per hour to 51 at Toms River so far. So we still have rain, we've got ice, we've got snow. It's swinging through the area right now, going across Long Island with more rain this morning, and the snow totals are going to go even higher. So we get you out the door, you need all your gear and allow for extra time. Because right now we've got snow, ice, and rain till about 10 o'clock, and then we'll get some sunny breaks this afternoon. All right, we'll talk more about that in just a moment. Eyewitness News reporter Candace McCowan is live in West Orange in the thick of it there in New Jersey, where students were stuck in school overnight. Candace.
Yeah, Bill, they're just now getting to go home. Some of them, not all of them, because the buses have yet to reach schools. We're in front of Liberty Middle School, and I just talked to some parents. One guy telling me he started trying at 6 o'clock last night until 2:30 this morning to try and get here and get his son. Finally, he gave up at 2:30 in the morning, and finally just now thought the roads might be clear enough for him to actually reach the school and pick up his son, who typically comes home on the bus. I want to show you the roadways here in West Orange. Take a look. This is a video that we have from around 1 o'clock this morning. There's pure gridlock, and you can see ambulances and a school bus stranded in the traffic. Those trapped buses led to students getting home late, and some of those students, they didn't leave school here in West Orange. These are pictures that were tweeted from inside Liberty Middle School. They had about 100 students that were stranded here overnight with 25 staff members that stayed here to make sure that they were taken care of and to feed them. There were pictures of students in the auditorium after they were stranded. They eventually pulled out mats and hoped that some of the students could get some rest while others played games. And like I said, I just spoke to some of those parents and some of those students who are finally getting to go home.
Very worried, scared, but once they assured me that the kids was safe, it's better for them to be in the school than for us to come get them. It'd be much better.
It's very worried. I called my dad like multiple times.
Happy to go home?
Yes, very.
Yeah, like that kid told me, he said he's never been happier to see his dad. Now, back here at Liberty Middle School, you eventually are now just seeing these parents and their cars getting to the school to pick up their kids, but the buses still aren't on the road. I spoke to the superintendent, who was also pulling an all-nighter, talked to her about 4:15 this morning, and she was also telling me that it was 280 where those buses got stranded. They couldn't get to the school. They eventually decided to keep the students here so that they could be safe, and they are working with the Department of Public Works and the bus companies to try and determine when they can get the buses to all of these schools. It's not just this one, but many schools in West Orange, and get those students back home to their families. Live here in West Orange this morning, Candace McCowan, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
I'm Heather O'Rourke. One of my very good friend's daughter is at one of those schools. I hope you get home soon, Brooke. We'll talk about what's happening here, I-95, right near Mamaroneck Avenue. You can see we have tons of delays, and this is a lot to do with the fact that we have stranded cars, we have accidents, we have disabled vehicles. 78 West, exit 13, an accident. All lanes are closed down. I'm also hearing that it started to snow once again in Warren County, so now the snow is back onto the ground and onto the roadways, so crews have to get that taken care of. Garden State Parkway North, exit 116. 15, that is an accident being cleared away. Route 23 and Wantage, both ways between Sawmill Road and Greenville Road. We do have that downed pole and some downed wires. We'll take a look at the Deegan as you go northbound at the Cross Bronx Expressway. That accident still being cleared away. Delays on our PATH trains. And then the Deegan north of Yankee Stadium, a stalled truck is clearing. Street cleaning rules are suspended. Metered rules are in effect. And right now, Eyewitness News reporter Derek Waller is along the major Deegan in the High Bridge section. Good morning to you, Derek.
Well, good morning to you, Heather. I'll tell you that where we're standing right now, you're looking at the northbound side of this. It's actually moving okay, but do not be fooled because, as you mentioned, to our north there are stalled vehicles, and there's still some pretty major delays. In fact, police are still warning about that this morning as they try to clear away those stalled vehicles. We have some video from earlier showing what this looked like. You get a sense of what people had to deal with overnight. People stranded on this highway for upwards of 10 hours last night. Just a big mess. And as we said, this has been going on all night. Accidents and stalled vehicles in the Cross Bronx, the Deegan, and the George Washington Bridge have led to this mess. And Mayor de Blasio, he went on the radio last night and called this a perfect storm.
Sanitation department was out and ready, but the timing was particularly bad when the snow hit because rush hour is the worst time for this. Then we had a bunch of things way beyond our control. This horrible crash on the George Washington Bridge, which backed up a number of highways. It all started to sort of have a domino effect.
And again, the major Deegan this morning, northbound lane, still pretty backed up to our north. You want to think about that when you head out this morning. We're live in the Bronx. I'm Derek Waller, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Thank you so much. 6:36 is our time. The first snow of the season created treacherous conditions across the 5 boroughs. Snow plows and salt trucks are reaching areas that were hit hard by the storm just as the morning commute starts to pick up.
Joining us now on the phone is New York City Sanitation Commissioner Catherine Garcia. Commissioner, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I know it's a very busy morning. What is the status right now?
So right now, across the board, we are in blacktop in most areas. The place that we have struggled the most is in the Bronx, and particularly the interchange between the Cross Bronx and the Major Deegan, that what we call it is the pretzel swirl ramps. We are now working in a task force with NYPD who are taking us the wrong way against traffic to get up and continue to do those. But we have seen people get stuck on those consistently all through the night. But at other places in the Bronx, we have made very good progress. But those are two of our trouble areas still this morning.
Commissioner, one of the things that you rarely hear when there's a snowstorm is that people don't see snowplows. Usually they see snowplows everywhere, but yesterday people were complaining on our website. They were tweeting out, "We don't see any plows. We don't see any plows." What was the case yesterday?
No, we had absolutely over 700 pieces of salting equipment out, pre-positioned in the morning after they had done some of their pre-salting on the high areas. We had plows out as well, but we were stuck. So one of the things that we always do is this particular ramp, because it can get so treacherous, and they had done that and then we're going back and got stuck. I had salt spreaders that literally were in traffic for hours. And so they could not move at all. I mean, the basic rule of thumb is if we can't move, we can't work.
Gotcha. Yeah, because our journalists, they were in every corner of New York City, and many of them said that they did not spot any plows. So you're saying that it was the timing and getting stuck that kept them from being able to successfully do their jobs.
Right. So we were in pretty good shape by shortly after the evening rush and all the other boroughs. I mean, it had been very heavy, very difficult, very heavy snowfall right at the evening rush, which would make things difficult. But we were able to keep moving in the other boroughs, if slowly, and came out of it very well. But we just got completely into the gridlock of Upper Manhattan and the Bronx, and it just had a cascading effect not only on the highways but across all of the feeder streets. Everyone got off the highways trying to find a way around it and ended up creating huge gridlock at corners. We sent one spreader, had been requested by PD for an area, and I literally watched it on the TV monitors for over 2 hours, go 2 blocks.
All right, New York City Sanitation Commissioner Catherine Garcia, thank you. We know you're busy. We appreciate you coming to the phone this morning.
Thank you.
All right, so we are following a developing story in Suffolk County where high winds damaged a church. New video just in showing the toppled steeple on the First Baptist Church of Greenport. This happened early this morning. Firefighters worked with a crane operator to secure the steeple, which was hanging over Main Street and could have taken out power lines below.
6:39, new video showing firefighters working to free a car from a fallen tree on the Lower East Side. This video from Citizen App shows the work to clear debris on Stanton and Norfolk Streets. One person did suffer a minor injury. Well, the heavy snow brought trees down and branches all across the tri-state. On the Upper West Side, a tree blocked traffic on West 84th. Parked cars were hit by the debris, but nobody got hurt. In Hoboken, the weight of the snow and the ice brought down more than a dozen trees, all of it just adding to the traffic woes in Gridlock as people tried to make their way around in the first accumulating snowfall of the season.
The storm made a mess for commuters, leaving hundreds stranded at Port Authority bus terminal waiting for New Jersey Transit buses. Crowds lined the first floor of Port Authority, waiting for hours with no relief in sight. The second and third floors were closed, and commuters were just hoping to get a spot to sit against a wall or something. Rubbing salt in the wound, Port Authority announced it was unlikely to get any better.
They're telling people to find alternative methods, but if you look at an Uber, it's $300 to get home.
We knew what was going to happen, so I'm just really curious why New Jersey Transit can't seem to get it together.
But there weren't a lot of options for other ways to get home. So this is the line at the New York Waterway Ferry at 39th Street, extending to West Side Highway. Be sure to download the AccuWeather app for the very latest weather conditions. You can also go to ABC7NY for the most up-to-date information.
Speaking of which, at 6:41, you're never more than 7 minutes away from weather and traffic.
Bill Evans is outside our studio.
Whoa!
Oh, that wind.
It is nasty out here right now. We're in the thick of the storm where we're getting all this wind now, 35, 40 miles an hour. The low has pushed off from southern New Jersey, and you can tell it because the wind now is coming right across the northeast, and it is spreading 45-mile-per-hour winds, which are tropical storm force winds in this rain across the area. So we have the winter storm warning to the north, winter weather advisory for a mix. We have coastal flood warning going on right now because the northeast wind is creating flood conditions. Now we have a flood warning for the Hudson River between Poughkeepsie and also across to Newburgh and along the Hudson River. So lots of problems this morning as we're going to continue to see the morning hours where we got this wind and these temperatures are in the 30s. I just had to let that umbrella go. I can't even hang on to it. It's so windy here. So we're looking at wind gusts now. See the low swirling? It's just to the southeast of Brooklyn and Queens, moving across Long Island. So the wind gusts have been up to 51 so far. Rain is across the area right now to our north and west. We're going to be seeing that continuing till about 8, 9 o'clock, and then the winds will start to slowly subside and die down later on today. It is nasty out here. But the bus stop kiddos, be very careful. Stay away from trees. There's lots of heavy, wet snow on trees and power lines here. They will get better as the afternoon rolls on. That's weather. Here's Heather. Glad you're inside.
Yeah, me too. Cross Bronx Expressway at the Sheridan accident cleared. You can see that delay on the Cross Bronx, though. North Jersey coastline, Gladstone Branch, New Jersey Transit suspended. Cross Bronx west at the Alexander Hamilton Bridge, there is a crash. Port Authority bus terminal delays in and out, 30 minutes for those buses. And another look at that Cross Bronx, you can just see that bumper-to-bumper crawling traffic. It's been like that all morning long. 78 going west, exit 13, accident. All lanes are closed down. New snow, fresh snow on 78. Now crews have to get out there and clear that away. Street cleaning rules are suspended. Metered rules are in effect. Ken, Charlene, over to you.
All right, thank you very much, Heather. 6:43, continuing coverage of the crippling snowstorm. Cars left behind and ice on the roads. A live report from Rockland County coming up.
Plus, sleeping in the airport overnight, not fun at all. Passengers stranded, some even having to sit in planes on the tarmac for hours. The story when we come back.
This Eyewitness News weather and traffic report is sponsored